finer places.
You need to be loud, you need your cheers, they are not coming out unless you convince them. We can't hear you yet, coach. Do you want to see some of those Sri Lanka?
In the opening game on day one against England, and then led New Zealand 17-0 at half-time, only to see that lead eaten up 19-17. New Zealand beating Samoa, but still in good position to make it through to the semi-finals, so well led by a group of co-captains in this Samoan side, Va'apelu Maliko, likes of Malani Matavao and Vavata Apasua will start this game on the bench. So Mulia Mapele, Brian Lima, the coach, able to rotate a few of his players here for Samoa. Well, Sri Lanka, gosh, they had some really good moments yesterday as well, scoring 3 tries against England, and ultimately a losing effort. But they were warmly supported, even given the crowd is largely English. Coming alongside. And, well, we've seen how physical Samoa is, and we'd like to see them get back into their game after that disappointment against New Zealand.
Yeah, they rely on that physicality. It's something often said with these Pacific Island teams, but Samoa lead the charge with that. They are really dynamic in how they play. Young players coming into this, but they are abrasive of the highest order.
Waina Sione it is who takes the ball towards the sideline and conceding a penalty early on, Samoa. So great start for Sri Lanka. Senavaratne gets them underway, and a chance really for the first proper attacking possession. Hapugora. And here's Suri, the captain. Anurada Surya Bandana, and then the mistake.
And the Samoans will be looking to try and scare the Sri Lankan attackers, knowing what collisions the Sri Lankans would have watched and doing their analysis. Samoa love putting the big hits in. And so close in that game against New Zealand, brilliant, but what a start it was for them against England. Blew England away.
Some bone-rattling hits in that match, for sure. Here goes Samoa now, just on their own side of halfway, and taken up by Fafui Falaniko. The penalty goes against Sri Lanka, and they're just going to up the tempo a little bit. Motuapi tight. Letu Fia gets a start as well. Great footwork, Sione, and still going away to Sione. Now Apitai. Got player outside him, and Paul Scanlon. Scanlon for the corner. Scanlon is in. Paul Scanlon is a quality finisher for the Samoan team.
Just to add to that raw power you speak about with Samoa, their ability to nail their restarts. They've got pace right across their backline. It's so important, because you find the space in sevens is one thing, to then capitalise on it and get the players who are just that little bit quick around the outside. Medema, not a slow player himself. He's good at chasing down. Could only get the 2 hands on the back. Scanlon sneaking in the corner.
So 5 points to 0. Nice start for Samoa. We'll see how they set up on this first restart. You love a Samoan restart.
I love it. They love it. They've got a nice little dink down the middle.
There it is. Flying high, just through the hands, though, of Apelu Maliko.
But it's not even their restart, it's their reactions to it. So more often than not, the nations will compete against it. They'll know largely where the ball's going, and you can adjust as a player to try and work out where the flight of the ball is. But then it's what happens next. How can you react to that ball, be it a bouncing ball or one on the floor, the fastest? And that's certainly where Samoa at the moment are way ahead of everyone else.
Set.
Sri Lanka clear the ball away through Ratwata. Suri. Samoa coming in, trying to put pressure on the Sri Lankans. Got a couple of big, strong men themselves, Sri Lanka. It's getting a little bit sideways, pass to himself, and the scramble is on. It's hustled out over the sideline. He's got himself in a bit of a tangle, did Mitun Hapigora.
That was absolutely intentional. So wants the famed Brian O'Driscoll doing it mid-game.
No, just kicked and touched.
If he throws the ball out intentionally, it might well have been a different outcome, but that is definitely intended. Shame he couldn't hold it in the end. Apagoregi, that was Outrageous.
Samoa working through the middle now. Big couple of wide passes. Look at that. Bang, bang, bang across the field. Scanlon now over on the left gets his second try.
You got your chess pieces. Get him in the right place is what's all important. Samoan flag, of which there are many around the stadium here in Coventry. A few of the delegates in yesterday. Very passionate supporters as well as players. And it's nice execution. Sri Lanka just holding, checking, giving that outside channel a little bit too much respect. And again, Badima not able to get hands on his back this time. The one-on-one is largely in the favour of that man, Scanlon.
Two tries to start the match for Paul Scanlon. 10 points to 0 now, Samoa. Again, down the middle. Just the awareness of here they are in the air. This one does fall for Samoa and Uanasione. To cut back across the field. And then to spread, nice cut-out ball for Scanlon. On line for a hat-trick here. One side and the other. It's like there's 5 of them at the moment. Paul Scanlon gets a third.
The flag in the play. Scanlon loving it. 3 tries this game. Hat-trick in the first half. Nice bit of deception. You know it's good when the cameraman falls for it. And then Scanlon gets the fend out. Doesn't need it in the end. Nice bit of respect, Scanlon.
Former football player in his youth as well. Played for Samoa. Multi-talented, one of the more experienced players in terms of the World Series and International Sevens with such a new look Samoan side. And oh, it's classy. 15-0 now. Take 4 on the restart. Player in front though this time. Got off to a flyer. Chance here for Sri Lanka to build from halfway. Ratwata, Ashana it is, who scored that famous try in their first match against New Zealand. Driven back though in the tackle. Ball just sitting there waiting to be plucked away by the Samoan player, and that's exactly what they did. And here he is again, racking up another one. Paul Scanlon, number 4.
Well, we've seen the women have a significant crew in the 4 tries a half club. Scanlon's now there as well. I wonder if Brian Lima gets more pride from seeing hits like that than he does the tries. The man on the sideline has transformed the Samoan team back to their greatness. The game of sevens, prime for them. He was a man that was known as the chiropractor in the world of rugby. And I personally can suggest he's rearranged my ribs. But his players are stepping up their defence, and their attack is looking strong against Sri Lanka.
20 points to 0, 20 points to Paul Scanlon.
Scanlon 20, Sri Lanka 0.
Play.
That kick just goes the 10 metres, and it's wonderfully taken in the air by Moti Apitai, who's going to finish it off, do it all himself, receive the kick-off, spin around, and go in for Samoa.
So usually it's the reactions to the kick, but this time the man that claimed it, look at the height. It's almost a high jump approach, leaps, raises the hands towards the sky, claims it, and then uncontested as he flies in, really. I think Sri Lanka need to reassess their tactics. If they're kicking down the middle, put all 5 players around the ball to try and stop him, because at the moment it's one-way traffic.
Comprehensive first half from Samoa. They lead Sri Lanka 27 points to 0. Master Brian Lima, 5-time Rugby World Cup player in 15s, 3 sevens World Cups, and he played in the 2002 Commonwealth Games. And he has the respect of his players. He's doing great things with them.
Lanka had been buoyed yesterday by playing England and getting 19 points against them. Not quite the same against New Zealand, went down 63-5, but they can score. Suri, one of their better players. If he gets a chance for the ball, number 9, you can see him, middle of shot. He's adept.
Vastly experienced, the captain, Anurada Suryabandana, 14 years in this team. Really drives their game. Need a lot of support to get here. The Sri Lankan men's and women's sides, private sponsors, and the Commonwealth Games Federation just coming on board to help them out with the turmoil in the country, playing with that freedom on the rugby field. And Samoa get us underway, and that is a rare mistake off a kickoff, but because Sri Lanka play at it, even though it doesn't go 10 metres, we continue on, 27-0 in this Pool A matchup. And now here's some space for the Sri Lankan speeds to Bully. Oh, brought it back in, was knocked out of the hand, and the offload is good too. Great start to the half here for Sri Lanka. Just need it, well, maintain some composure as this manhandled by Samoan, and it's been ripped away by a Samoan hand in there.
Rock.
Somewhere the ball will come out on the Samoan side, and a Peli Maliko. Room to move, or stabbing a little kick through. Might have been tackled late here, Scanlon, as the ball just runs down that sideline. Wonderfully kept in, and it just hit some chalk on the way. Fafui Falaniko.
Mild applause for that one. Pretty spectacular. Scanlon looks down, puts it on the foot. That's the footballing ability. Really difficult skill on the fly. Slowly gets the bounce, looking like it's going to come in, and then just takes a turn to the sideline.
Here is Suri with the throw to the line out. Good quick ball, nice ball off the top from Sri Lanka, and appreciated that set piece by the crowd. Ashan Rawata. Penalty, Samoa held on. Quick tap, and away goes Uwana Sione. The Samoa's first try of the second half.
For me, he's got the ball, he's lifting it.
Well, clip that up. That's about as good a defensive play as you'll see. Makes the tackle over the top, takes the tap. I would say normally the referee move you back about 5 foot there. But he rides that collision, gets the right arm out just to absorb the hit as well. See both Samoa and Fiji doing that often in the way they carry the ball. It's like an uppercut, but it means you can't get near him as a defender. Net result, Sione bags 5 points.
Come back on.
£34-0. The ball's hooked back into Sri Lankan hands, and the Tuskers try and build again. Oh, heavy collision. Play it dropping down low, but able to lay it back for his teammates. Gorda switching back, oh, man on. And now they are really going backwards. Someone needs to get moving. Chandradas for Sri Lanka tried to offload it as it touched the Samoan body on the way through. Well, it's Samoa ball it'll be. It's just huge pressure from the Samoans.
Time off. 10 blue.
Pressure and some monster hits. Backing him up. You know it's a big shot when the head jolts back. To the sideline now, Scanlon. Not a bad shift. You'd be happy with that one, I think.
Chuck 4 in the pocket. 20 points to the tally.
Time back on. Crouch. Bind.
Samoa done all this without their starman Matavao as well. He's on the sideline.
Well, as I say, it's that luxury, isn't it? Especially knowing there's still some really big matches to play. To give a couple of guys a breather. Here's another one, Owen Nue, nicely tipped up, and then good pressure from Sri Lanka. Really good hustle on defence.
Yeah, rightly getting applauded for that one. Good defence. So it's been a tough effort for them. This must be a sanctuary. You mentioned, Ricky, about what's going on in Sri Lanka. You can't not see the news and feel for them, but this is a way of them having their release, put all into practice all they've been doing. A lot of outbound training they've been doing in their build-up to this camp. Bit of consultancy from Ben Gollings as well to try and guide them, as well as guiding Fiji. And Suri now, the man with the ball, hopefully can spark something for them.
Goes to the big long ball out the back, and it's pressure again. This little option for Matun Hapagoda. And that frustration, just
Substitution,
haven't been
time
able
off,
to get
please.
into it like they
Dribble.
could against England and build some pressure on their opposition.
They did really well against England, but they weren't oppressed in the defence like they have been from Samoa.
Boys,
Every single
marks over
time
here,
the
the
Sri
ball's
Lankans
crossed
have
the
got
line
the
here.
ball, usually in their own territory. The
Mark over
Samoans
here.
about 3 inches away from their face, and that can be quite a daunting prospect.
Time on. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Samoan backline all spread out to the right as the halfbacks go with their push and shove. Leitufia, the halfback for Samoa, gets it in and out for Purcell, and then across the line they go. A little in and away from Niue, going to take on the corner, take on the player, and dot down for another for Samoa. Just going to check that grounding,
Just
are
have a
they,
check,
or the
yeah.
foot?
Jim
Flirt
off.
with that side.
Leishi coming up to you, please. Try or no try. Thank you.
Well, in and away, and they get off me. It's just whether his foot carried to the line. Absolutely fine there. No problem with that.
Hi Mo, have a decision. You may award a try.
Thank you.
Another one chalked up for Samoa. And Owen Niue, another player who has really performed well for Samoa in their return to the World Series this year. 39-0.
Be proud about it being nil as well. Growing into this tournament, push New Zealand, as we mentioned. Very much fancied coming into this tournament, but seeing what they've achieved the latter end of the series and of past experiences.
Here goes Sri Lanka. Sinivaratne was the one who knocked it down for Hapugolda to set away. Passes just haven't stuck for them like they did yesterday. Chandradas, and then Nange runs headlong into this brutal Samoan defence. Burema, the speedster, just hadn't had the room. He's had to do a lot of chasing instead, and now there's some space. Little bit to work with for Sri Lanka. Forced the pass, though, and forced it forward.
Knock on first.
Nangi just trying to get that ball round the back of the defender. You can see what he's doing, but he's just got slightly intercepted from Samoan feet, spilling the ball out of his hand. A couple of subs to try and get a bit of game time for the wider squad.
Time on.
Just feel the ease of this Samoan backline.
Bind.
They'll be chancing their arm, running laterally, then straightening up, going hard, just going through the middle of the Sri Lankans.
Leitufia gets rid of his opposite and then feeds the scrum. Little stutter step from Falaniko. 2 defenders upon him, though, and a penalty.
Feel that competition.
Goes against the supporting player for Samoa. Sri Lanka. Hapugolda has been in the thick of the action. Nice hands, Fernando. And now really good forward momentum for Sri Lanka. Rafadine takes them up. They well into the Samoan territory now. A little bit sideways. There's Dangi, but the support play is nice from Sinivaratne. Back they go with a big pass, 30-40 metres across field, and a bit of razzle with some footwork too, and a nice turn of pace, and the support is there. Hapugolda looking for the ball back in field, finds Nigel Rakwata. Sri Lanka maintaining possession, asking questions for the first time at the Samoan defence. Lovely hands, ball just stuck in that right mid of Burema, and then he found Sinivaratne. Sinivaratne, and the inside ball is there too. Just short, they get on. The support play had made all the right moves except the final moment. Chatura Sinivaratne puts the ball down, and they're understandably gutted as well. And you love to hear this commentary crowd help him rise back to his feet after that great effort.
Time back on.
Oh, it says it all, doesn't it?
It's a game of such fine margins, isn't it? The joy, the despair.
The heart and the break. Serve Ratney. It was his third effort in that phase of play as well. Just needed to grab it. So close.
Samoa can finish it off here. They'll tap the free kick and stab a little kick through, and the chase is coming as well. It's a big chase back for Boreman here. Oh, the bounce is wonderful for Steve on his side. Beautifully weighted kick on his side for the corner. Boreman still chasing, giving it everything. But Samoa finish with a flourish and will march through to the quarterfinals.
And it's one tactic that Samoa employ quite a lot, because they back their pace, they just kick it long. Doesn't have to be pretty. Plenty of space in behind, and when you've got the flyers going, just a look at the bounce, look at the legs flying as well. On the side, off the bench, 20 years old. One of these stellar stars from Samoa.
And a wide smile. The young man, 44 points to 0. Samoa, impressive display coming out on day 2 to secure their place in the last 8 in contention for the medals.